All right, good day, everybody. We are back here working on Project 2. Project 2 is a spreadsheet that contains a stock portfolio. What we want to do here is type in all of our information. One thing that we're doing that's a little bit different is when we work with our column headings up here, we've got two-line column headings. To type this in, what you're going to do is you type in the first word. Then when you want to go down the next line, you're going to hold down your Alt key and hit Enter. It'll go down on to the next line like this. Don't worry about it. Type in the remainder of the column heading, and then when I hit my Tab key, it'll straighten everything up. Okay. So when I get over here, here's where we have the initial price. I type initial, Alt Enter, type in price. When I hit Tab, it cleans it all up. Same thing for current price. Alt Enter, and clears it all up. Now when this happens, your columns won't auto-fit necessarily anymore. So if you have any problems, you're probably going to have to start dragging your columns a little bit. I'm going to give you a moment to go ahead and get all of your data typed in, and then we'll start back up again. All right, so once you've got all of your data typed in, we need to go ahead and calculate some things. We know how many shares of stock we have for each of our companies. We know what the price was on the day we bought it. That's the initial price. And then we know what its price is today. So we need to calculate how much actual cash we paid, okay? Because this is how much we paid per share. We want to know how much total we paid. We're going to add a new column where column F is. I'm just going to right-click on the F, and I'm going to choose Insert. This is going to put in a blank column. We'll add a new column heading up here. This is going to be Initial Cost. And then we're going to go ahead and put in a formula here to calculate the initial cost. To do that, we're just going to type equal. We're going to take the cell with the number of shares, and we're going to multiply that times the initial price. So I'm going to use a little asterisk here for multiplication, and then I'll click where my initial price is. When I hit Enter, it's going to go ahead and find the total that we spent for Amazon. We can select that formula, grab the fill handle in the bottom right corner, and drag down to copy the formula down. The next thing we need to do is we need to figure out how much would our stock be worth if we sold it today. We're going to add another column up here in column H. So I'm going to right-click on H and choose Insert. And we're going to put in a column heading called Current Cost. Same thing, Alt-Enter. The formula is very similar to the last formula. We put in equals. We're using the shares because we still own 800 shares. We're just going to multiply that times the current price. So when I hit Enter, I now find out how much it's worth today. Go ahead and copy that on down. So we need to find out if we've made any money or not. So the gain or loss column is where we're going to put that formula. It's a simple formula. Type in equals. We take what it costs today, current cost, and we subtract the initial cost. The difference is either going to be a positive and we made money, or a negative and we lost money. So we've made a lot of money on Amazon stock. But unfortunately, we didn't make money on all of them. You'll see where we have a couple that are negative. So in finance, a lot of times, we don't worry about actual total dollar amounts. We're always looking at kind of percentages. That's what evens the playing field so that you're comparing things accurately. So if we're trying to figure out which stocks performed best, we need to go ahead and use a percentage gain or loss. Again, not a very difficult formula. You just type in equals. We're going to take our gain or loss and we're going to divide it, use a slash. We're going to divide it by the initial cost. Okay, so this big number that you see right here means that we've earned over 900% on our investment. So let's copy that down. So now that takes care of the formulas that we have up here. Now we're going to add some formulas across the bottom. You all have seen the total before. We're going to have an average. You're going to have a lowest also. We're going to add another row in here. So let's right-click on 13 and insert a row. This one is going to be the highest amount. Now on the total line, we're not going to total up everything. It doesn't make any sense to total up everything. These are all prices per share. It doesn't make sense to add up the prices per share. But it does make sense to add up the initial cost. So we're going to go down here, and we'll use our auto sum button. I'll make a copy of that one there. So there's my total. Now I'm going to do it a little bit different this time. I'm just going to copy this, Control C. I don't need to do the current price, but I do want to know what the current cost and the gain or loss. So if I select those and I paste, Control V, it puts our formulas in here so that it's adding up these columns. Again, this is a percentage over here. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to add that up. You could find the average percentage, and that might make a little bit of sense, but adding the percentages together wouldn't make any sense at all. So now we're going to come down here and we're going to do a formula in D12. We're finding the average of this column. Now here's where you have to kind of be a little bit careful. I'm going to go on up and I'm going to click the little drop down arrow next to my auto sum button, and this time I'm going to use the average function. So now it puts in equals average. So here's where you have to be really careful, because right now if you look at the range of cells that are going to be averaged in, it's averaging in the total line, and we don't want that. So I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to reselect my data so that I don't include the totals in there. And I'm just going to hit enter. So that's our average number of shares that we had. The next thing we're going to do, I'm not going to worry about copying that over yet, we'll get to that later. We're going to do the highest. So again, we're over here using our auto sum button. This time it's the max or maximum. Okay? Again, we only want to select the range of cells that has our number of shares in it. We don't want any of these totals or average being included. And then the last one is the lowest or the smallest amount, and that is the min function. And again, we'll go back up here and we'll select our cells and hit enter. Now, the great thing is I can take all three of these formulas, select all three of them, grab my fill handle, and drag them all the way over. And just like that, our formulas go throughout.